Remove the oven door. Use a pair of pliers to lift the locking tabs on the door hinges. Then open the door to 30 degrees and lift the door up to remove it. Also, removing the door is optional, but it does make the repair easier. Use a screwdriver to remove the 3 screws from under the control panel. Remove the knobs from the control panel. Remove the 14 screws from the knob rings on the control panel and set the rings aside for later. Remove the control panel from the unit and zip tie it to the gas line so that it doesn't sag and strain the wires. Or you can have someone hold the panel. Locate and remove the 2 screws from the bottom of the front panel. Loosen the top 2 screws from the front panel so you can lift the front panel up to remove it. Set the front panel down so it's resting on the control panel. Now you can fully remove the 2 screws that were holding in the front panel. Remove the grates and burners from the unit. Locate and remove the 2 screws from inside the backsplash. Use a magnetic screwdriver tip to make the removal easier. On the back of the unit, locate and remove the 3 screws from the backsplash. Remove the backsplash and set it aside for later. Remove the 8 screws from the back panel. Also make sure you're holding the panel so it doesn't fall when you remove the last screw. Remove the back panel and set it aside for later. Remove the 13 screws from the burners. Remove the 6 screws from the back of the cooktop. Set the screws and metal brackets aside for later. Remove the black trim piece from the cooktop. Remove the cooktop from the unit. You might need to pull the side panel so you can release the cooktop. Remove the oven racks, and locate the thermostat inside the oven. Use a screwdriver to remove the 2 screws holding in the bracket. Remove the metal bracket and set it aside for later. Slide the thermostat probe out through the top of the oven. Locate the thermostat on the front of the unit, and use a marker to label each wire 1 through 5. Once everything is labeled, you can start unplugging all the cables from the thermostat. Remove the old thermostat from the unit and replace it with the new one. Plug in the cables to the thermostat, following your sequence. Slide the thermostat probe through the hole under the back right burner. Slide the metal bracket onto the thermostat probe and secure it with the 2 screws from earlier. Slide the oven racks back into the unit. Slide the cooktops back onto the unit. Make sure not to damage the igniters when installing the cooktop. You'll also need to pull out the side panels to secure the cooktops to the unit. Place the black trim piece back onto the unit and in between the 2 cooktop pieces. Secure the cooktop to the unit with the 3 metal brackets and the 6 screws from earlier. Secure the burners to the cooktop with the 13 screws from earlier. Place the back panel back onto the unit and secure it with the 8 screws from earlier. Make sure you place the black rubber stops on the second row so you leave room for the backsplash. Place the backsplash onto the unit and secure it with the 3 screws from earlier. On the top of the backsplash, locate the 2 mounting holes on the outer edge of the backsplash and secure it with the 2 screws from earlier. Use a magnetic screwdriver to make the installation easier. Place the burners back onto the unit and make sure to match the burner cap/upper base to the lower base on the cooktop. Place the grates back onto the unit. Locate these 2 mounting points on the front of the unit and secure a screw there. Lift up the front panel and slide it over the screws you just placed. There are 2 holes on the back of the front panel for the screws to slide into. Make sure it fits into place and that all the wires are tucked into the unit. Remove the zip ties from the control panel. Use a screwdriver to secure all 4 screws on the front panel. Lift the control panel and slide it into the front panel. You'll need to slide the 6 tabs from the control panel under the front panel to lock it into place. Hold the thermostat while you install the control panel. And you might need to lift up the corners to slide in the control panel. Use a screwdriver to install the knob rings to the control panel. There's 14 screws in total. The knob ring on the thermostat uses smaller screws and has them placed horizontally. Place the knobs back onto the unit. Secure the control panel to the unit with the 3 screws from earlier. Put the door back onto the unit. Slide the door into the 2 slots at the bottom of the oven. Then use a pair of pliers to close the locking tabs to secure the door.